Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gav Major and this is Admiralty Reports. Admiralty Reports is your gameplay submissions with my commentary, and today we have a submission from Salty Sax. Now he's playing in the Tier 7 American Premium Battleship USS Georgia, which was a recent addition to the game via a campaign, so quite an interesting battleship. But today we're not exactly going to be discussing much about Sax's gameplay. I mean, he does have a good game, and considering that he doesn't play battleships that often, he does actually very well. But actually what we're going to be looking at is map control. So as you can see, there's only one DD per team and 5 battleships per team. Well, the enemy team does have 4 battleships, which is the usual common issue with the game at current, with an overpopulation of the heavier ships. Although 1 in 10 games will probably have numerous DDs. So here Sax has gone, he's flying the colours to the wind, and he's going straight into the centre cap to contest it. And judging by the way the Bravo cap is being contested as well, chances are the only enemy DD is also in Bravo. Gunai's now spotted, and the Prince Eugen, which probably was spotting Sax, is over there on the left flank. Problem is, the Prince Eugen is pushed up because he's the only real ship over on that flank to do some spotting, and now he's in for a world of pain. There's the first citadel, Sax getting another volley out, but Prince Eugen eats up a couple more citadels, and there he goes as Sax finishes him off with first blood. So that's one of the downsides of not having a DD on your flank, especially as a cruiser, because obviously you need to see where the enemy are, and there's no DD or aircraft carrying this game to do the spotting on that side. So the Prince Eugen's pushed up and then found himself in a horrible crossfire. Sax has pushed into the centre here, which is quite advantageous because he's managed to push up nicely to this island, and he's got nice control over the 2 flanks from his position. The only possible downside of him being positioned here is if the enemy DD does try a point-blank rush. Now, looking at the friendly team, the friendly Vaquilin, the destroyer, has secured the Alpha Cap. The enemy on the Alpha Cap flank are kind of like keeping their distance. The enemy on the Charlie Cap have actually broken away after seeing the Prince Eugen get absolutely blapped. The enemy Gneisenhower is trying to basically kind of do what Sax is doing, trying to push up and get some angles here. But at the moment, it's most certainly Sax's team who've been able to get the advantage by countering the Bravo Cap and securing the Alpha Cap. Now, as this game continues to progress, it's interesting to note that here, as the enemy have obviously stalled on their push on the Charlie flank, Sax gets his guns trained off towards the Alpha flank, and here he's basically got a nice crossfire across the front of Alpha, denying any access into Alpha. Enemy Gneisenhower is now gone. And so, with the enemy's DD kind of locked into Bravo, Sax's team is able to run away with the point lead at the moment and the map control. Worth noting that a large presence of his friendly team have positioned themselves over at the Charlie flank, and now led by the 2 friendly BBs, they're starting to make a bit of a push into the vacated space that the enemy team have left. There's the enemy New Orleans, and it's worth noting that now Sax is uncontested here, so the enemy DD has broken out of Bravo, getting a citadel and doing 26,000 damage to New Orleans there. Also note the Azuma alongside her. Enemy Shores is now gone to the south of the map. The Shores obviously being quite a fragile cruiser, likes to keep her distance, but if she can get picked out when she's broadside on like she was, then she's going to be gone. Double fire on Sax at the moment, so he is coming under some partial pressure. The volley just missing the New Orleans, and he's up to a triple fire, so he activates his damage control and his repair party. Worth noting that Sax only managed to give about 6 seconds of capping before the enemy DD did make a return into the Bravo Cap, and the enemy are now contesting the Alpha Cap, while the friendly team is now capturing the Charlie Cap from their push that they've made there. Friendly Drillbits then sinks the enemy Warspite, which was down to the spawned in the centre and then folded over towards Charlie, and then trying to break away there. Interesting to see a Warspite, a tier 5 ship in a tier 6 and 7 game, I have to confess. Getting 2 defender ribbons, and then the friendly Snot finishes off the New Orleans, so now that just leaves the Azuma over there doing the capping. Friendly Azuma finishes the friendly Vaquilin, so that's the first friendly ship loss in this game. Vaqu's trying to peck out the Azuma, but it looks like she's actively dodging. But the loss of the friendly Vaquilin hasn't been completely to waste because it has flushed the enemy DD out of the Bravo cap. And it probably won't be too long until the Charlie cap is now capped, and Sax is now continuing to basically contest this. So no team's really gaining any points, but it's worth noting that there goes the enemy team as they lose their Champagan to the friendly Nelson. So that game was all over and done with within about 6 minutes because of lack of map control and lack of spotting. Sax's team able to get the advantage there in regards to positioning and map control, not pushing up too aggressively, but also contesting and capturing where they could, getting those crossfire set up. It's interesting to see how the enemy team capitulated one flank very quickly, or in fact really capitulated both flanks very quickly. They tried to then regain the advantage on the alpha flank, but the whole time they were never able to gain any advantage in the centre, and basically sacrificed the Charlie flank the entire game. So through the loss of 6 ships and no caps, that's basically a mercy game. Sax coming in second place on this team, which is always quite interesting. So that was an interesting little game from Sax playing in the Georgia. He managed to do 62,000 damage and get 2 citadels and a single kill. Securing himself second place on the team, which is quite interesting. And being that it's a tier 7 game, also there is a hefty cost in regards to ship service charge, but he's been able to walk away with a profit of 85,000 credits with a premium count. Anyway, so that's this little clip. We'll now take a look at another short little clip, and then we'll call it quits, I guess. So this clip is a very short little clip featuring Admiral Kriv in the tier 6 tech tree destroyer, the Benson. And the reason why I'm including it is it's a very nice example of how to potentially bait a ship into your torpedoes. So he's launched his 2 quintuplet launchers at the Cleveland there, which is nicely positioned behind the island. He's also obviously spotting the Cleveland, but then he starts opening fire, and he's, judging by the way he's turning away and stuff, I guess because the way the island is, if the Cleveland wants to bring all his guns to bear onto the Benson, he's going to have to turn to his starboard side as he is doing now. Now, bearing in mind that obviously the Cleveland had a standing start, so he's had to accelerate a little bit, and look what he's wandered himself into. And there you go, that's first blood and 36,000 damage very quickly into this game. So that I included because it was a very nice little showcase of how to try and bait a ship into your torpedoes. Well, I hope you have enjoyed these 2 little clips, and if you have, feel free to give them a thumbs up. In regards to Salty Sax's game, the command build modules and the inspirations and all that will be down in the description if that is of interest. In regards to Admiral Kriv's game, that's just a nice little short showcase of a nice little tactic that you can do in destroyers. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this, and feel free to subscribe if you feel like it. As always, down in the description is the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Patreon is a non-monetized channel, and the email address for the channel if you want to send any viewer and game captures. They can be games, they can be little clips. This is just a nice little one, but there's little clips. If there's little clips, I'll always bundle them together into a video, but if they're full-on games, then I'll try and make the focus on that whole game. Well, until next time, I'm the Gaff Major, and back to the port.
Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the galloping Major. Bumpity, 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 bump. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down. I guess this is the life. Now, hey, hey, clear the way, here comes